Thank you, RGV Stars fans and viewers, for supporting us throughout the last 6 years. Now we are already in season 24, approaching episode 240, and we've had a great experience in this journey. Amazing and talented individuals have been a part of RGV Stars, and we appreciate the support.
And we do this for you guys. We appreciate everything that you guys have done for us, for all the follows, the likes, and the shares. Remember that you can follow us and on all our platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Hit that subscribe button.
And thank you also to the Embassy Suites by Hilton for allowing us to film in these amazing state-of-the-art facilities. And we will continue making you all proud and trying our best to bring all of the RGV Stars to the show to continue making it a success. Thank you, guys.
We'll see you on the next one.
Welcome to another edition of Season 24 of RGV Stars, live with Alex Arabia and Isaac Medina. Remember, at RGV Stars is
the premier platform for showcasing Rio Grande Valley talent.
And the RGV Celebrities Place to Be. Celebrities and actors and models like the Maldonado twins. BaldeMar and Jair, thank you guys for being here
on
RGV Stars.
Thank you for having me.
Today, our viewers will get the chance to know more about you, both of you, your career as an actor, as a model, achievements, obstacles, current projects, future goals, and anything else that you want to share. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Awesome. We're super excited to have you guys. So tell us a little bit about you guys. Where you're from, what do you do full time, and how did you get into acting and modeling?
Okay, well, first I want to say that we're very excited to be here, and thank you guys for inviting us over to the show for RGV Stars. And, my name is BaldeMar. I'm an actor.
I am Jair. I am a model, but I would like to also represent myself as an artist in the broader sense too.
Yeah.
And we are twins, as you can tell. We are
identical twins.
Identical twins. Yes, we are both 23. We just turned last month, actually. We are from Fort, Texas, and we live here. Yeah.
Awesome.
And since you were a child, is this something that you always envisioned, like being in this industry as an actor, as a model, or when did this dream start for you guys? At what
No,
age?
I wasn't actually since we were kids. When we were in high school, we started doing some of like smaller gigs and like small favors for photographers, and then it started to grow into us, and then we started to get into like there were these collabs that people would do where they would calling all models and calling all photographers, and we would get these massive meetups in like the city halls of like cities, and we would get these amazing pictures, and I realized that it was something that I wanted to do once I got into it. And then we got signed into an agency here in McAllen actually, and then we just started to fan out from there and started doing more larger projects, more important projects.
Yeah, we started when we were 17, high school, and then we started modeling, which helped a lot to build our confidence and like our positions, and to be comfortable with cameras and people, and to be to take directions, which helped me later on because I went into the acting route, and we've met a lot of people throughout like our career so far. There were actors, models, and we would have different conversations about different things, and I realized that I wanted to be a part of that community. And one of my directors, actually Franco, he said the reason why we dive into like emotions is because that's our job, to mimic the human condition.
Yes, and actually when we started doing modeling, it was more like a cool thing that we started to do in high school, but how it stands
Like
now,
a hobby.
yes, like a hobby or like some side thing that you did in high school. But now how I see it, because throughout the years that I have done modeling, it's starting to look more like models and photographers can input their creative minds into the jobs themselves. So it's not just like a business project. I want to put modeling back where it belongs, in the art, as a form of expression rather than just a business. And I strive to do that.
And how important has been your family's support in a career of acting and modeling?
It's very, very important. My family has been very encouraging and very supportive in anything actually. My mom, and I'm sure people have said this to you guys before, like especially as kids, like it's like a food. How do you know if you don't like it if you don't try it? And it's actually something that we have internalized and that we have told ourselves because our family tells us, and we just do it all the time.
Yeah, and if you asked me what I wanted to be as a kid, I would probably have said like a dolphin trainer. I want to be a dolphin trainer. And then later on, like a marine biologist, and then later a psychologist. I mean,
Psychologist.
yeah. And then I've always changed throughout, but the one thing that has always stayed consistent was our creativity and our art. And I think it bleeds through everything that we do, and our family can see that, and they encourage us for that.
Do you have more siblings, or it's just you two?
We have more, yeah. We're the oldest of 5.
But you're the
two
only
and three
twins.
more. Yeah, we're the only twins.
Yes, the first
Now,
one.
do you have any role models, people that you admire or look up to?
Yes, I have 2. Like on the top of my list would be Nicole Kidman. Do you guys know her?
No, yeah.
Yeah, I love Nicole Kidman. Her, I really admire the way she can portray so much emotion through just her eyes. And so I really, really like her work. And then on number 2 would be Timothée Chalamet, because I see a lot of my features kind of resemble his, and his work ethic is like so great. And throughout my career, hopefully in the future, I can embody some of their or reflect their connection in the arts.
About Jair.
For me, the first person that came to mind was Jane Goodall. She is considered the world's leading primatologist, and I find it so inspiring how you can walk into a field that you are very passionate about and also come out a complete legend out of it. But aside from that, I find people very inspiring too, not just in the modeling enterprise, but also in the because we used to work in customer service, and you experience just about everything there. So we would work with like our coworkers would be these incredible singers or performers or artists, or they would have the boldness necessary for modeling, and they wouldn't take that talent threshold any further for whatever reason, right? And I just wish there was a way for people to explore this side of themselves without actually compromising their other priorities or duties, right? I think that would be bring the people together, perhaps even the world at large. But it starts small.
Awesome.
And as an actor, what are some other projects you've done, like theater, local films, or?
Yeah, I've done theater. Like I volunteered at the local community theater in FAR, and it's
With
been really.
Pedro Garcia?
Yeah, with Pedro.
He's been on the show.
Here, yeah.
Yeah, yes, I've seen him. He's really cool. And I've done theater, which got me a little bit out of my shell because in performing, acting-wise, I prefer film because it's more, for me, it's more personal and it's more more focused on the emotion. And then theater is a little more outgoing,
Projected.
kind of big, right? But acting has been really cool. I prefer films. I've done short films with some friends at like the university, but I can do everything.
And you would take any role, good guy, bad guy, you think you can do anything?
I would prefer. I think I can do more of like the good guy, victim kind of. Yeah, but I can try both.
Yeah, it could be the bad guy. I'm kidding.
We should try that. Yeah.
Do you guys get along, never fight, or how's your relationship like as identical twins
With each other,
with each other?
I think it's pretty good. Yeah, we don't really fight that much. Like we don't
Anymore, but when we were kids, we would fight all the time. I just think it's like another brother that you have. It's just harder to bring down because he's like your same height
And like we don't see each other as like we're the same person. Because we're not, right? But when we go out, people are like, "You guys twins?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're twins. I forgot." You know?
Yeah, I
That's
see
when
it.
it clicks.
Yes.
What would you say is your biggest achievement and also your biggest obstacle in your professional career?
Ooh, my biggest achievement so far, and I have to thank creative director Raylan Lopez. She's the local creative director. She's just a brilliant woman. She hired me for a job for one of the stores at the mall, TDK, and my picture is actually up there in one of their stores. And just looking at myself there has been very inspiring. Like I feel very accomplished.
And rewarding.
Yes, and rewarding. And the greatest obstacle, I guess, I would say for all artists, maybe in general, when you have something in your mind and virtually on paper and putting that into the real world, I guess that's one of the challenges that we all face, but also finding a platform or the resource necessarily here in abundance, especially in the RGV for projects that we have in mind to bring them into fruition, especially as male models, where diversity in male modeling I think would have been the biggest obstacles that I have faced and that we continue to face.
And Valdemar?
For me, I think that great accomplishment has been one of the films that I worked on was at the South Texas International Film Festival, and it won an award for Best Concept and Best Technique, and it won the Edinburgh Friendly Award. And actually, I was invited to go to a gala that the following night, I think, but I couldn't go because we had a fashion show that we had worked so hard for. We rehearsed for many months, so I had to miss the gala.
So you know Brenda Garza?
I do know.
She's been on the show.
Yes, and another achievement actually is sitting on a sofa being interviewed for RGV Stars. It's epic.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good.
Thank you.
What advice would you give to someone who maybe wants to pursue a career in acting and modeling?
Advice.
I think I would say to speak, to ask questions, to reach out to people, because as intimidating as people seem at first, they're a lot nicer when you actually talk to them. You just have to release that. But also, and a kind of a disclaimer actually, all of that shyness, all of that nervousness, it doesn't really go away. You just get used to transforming it into things like courage or things of that nature.
Oh, awesome.
Advice, I'd say for any, not only for artists, but for any person, I think that you have to look for whatever inspired you in the first place, whatever moved you in the first place, and just keep it as your true north. And just, I mean, because throughout your career, you're gonna face like doubts and you're gonna have like hard times. But if you know what you moved for in the first place, then it should be good.
Yes.
And what are your future goals? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
I would say I see myself furthering my education, learning about anthropology and philosophy. I want to hopefully open up an art gallery, live by the beach because I love the beach, and I want to maybe be a part of the expansion of the film community and the artist community here in the Valley.
Awesome.
Yes. For me, the short-term goals for the near future, I have a project in the works that I really want to fuse like science or like poetry into modeling itself, and show like this like bizarre like mutant of like all of these things, right? And for the 5 to 10 years, I don't have a short answer for that, I would say, because I really don't know. I wanted to envision me maybe furthering my education, of course, or maybe out in a dig site in a desert somewhere, finding, expanding the gap in the, minimizing the gap in the fossil record as it stands today, genuinely having the time of my life. Or maybe building a family down the street or something. But I promised myself that if I do one of these things, or all of them, or none of them, right, I want to continue to express myself through art, painting, drawing, writing, modeling, of course. Not just because I want to, but because I need to, as a language, as a form of expression. That's sort of like my goals.
Awesome.
A closing message, a closing remark for the fans, the viewers of RGV Stars.
I think that for anybody, for any artist, I would say that your art doesn't need to have a destination, it just needs to be made.
And I would say that, yes, that little battle that you have in your mind, of that idea that you have, should I do this, should I not do it? Yes, the answer is yes, go try it for yourselves.
Okay,
And that's what I would say.
Awesome.
Well, guys, thank you for being on RGV Stars.
No, thank
Pleasure
you.
to
Wish
have
you
you
the
guys.
best,
Thank
more
you.
success and more blessings.
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank
Yes.
you guys.
And this was another edition of Season 24 of RGV Stars, live with Alex Talavia and Isaac Medina. Remember, RGV Stars is
The premier platform for showcasing real Grand Valley talent.
the RGV Celebrities Place to Be. Until next time.
See you guys.